What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Black Ink Crew Chicago. So, season 6, episode 10. So we start this episode off with Charmaine and Kit talking about the fact that Jess is gone. Jess didn't really communicate to people and explain to people what was going on and why she left. But ultimately, it came down to Jess feeling disrespected about how Charmaine brought Miss Kitty into the situation. And honestly, it wasn't done the best way. It wasn't handled the best way. But I think a lot of it can be attributed to miscommunication, to Charmaine letting go of things because of her mom and because of the pregnancy. I think had her mom not passed, I think certain things would have been handled differently. And I'm not saying that she should get a pass for that, but I just think that that is what it is. Now down to the shop, nobody knows where Jess is except for what's his name? Not Prince. Shit. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that walks in the balls. I can't remember that boy's name. Anyway, Jess told him where she was going and then said, but don't tell nobody. And he told everybody, whatever. So, they have a team meeting and Kitty and Drea end up getting into it. Now, both of them, in my opinion, were a little bit out of pocket. But Miss Kitty, you need to really calm down. And even Charmaine was like, well, I want Kit to feel like she is empowered and that she, has authority. I don't want to undermine her authority by speaking over her or what have you, but I'm going to need her to chill out a little bit because she is doing a little bit much. So, and Kit was like, I ain't really tripping off of Drea because, New York, compared to New York, this is a cakewalk. So they kind of got into it. They had to pull Drea back. Like, they really were about to go there. And Drea's thing is, she ain't really trying, that if that they not really feeling her, they not really feeling what she bringing, that she's that if Jess, like, she's team Jess, and if Jess is gone, then she ready to go, and it just turned into a whole big argument, honey. Now, back down I'm sorry, let's go to London. Over in London, Jess is in London. She's back with her family. And she's basically telling her family that she felt disrespected. She felt pushed out. She felt as though, she said, Charmaine asked me to come. I didn't beg her. I didn't say I was starting the shop. Which is really, we're getting a really different view of this situation than we got at the beginning. Am I the only one that feels that way? Am I the only one that feels like in the beginning of the season Jess was sort of brought to us a little different, but she had a good conversation with her family, and her parents were like, and her sister, they were like, look, you are too talented. You have too much going on. You didn't ask to go to Chicago. Chicago came to you. And at the end of the day, you can't let yourself, be disrespected or feel like you're in a bad situation. And her father and them were like, look, it's going to falter. Like, it sounds like the way they're running the business is not good, and it's going to end up faltering, and it's best that your name not be attached to it. Now, I feel as though Jess, you making it seem like they pushed you out, and they didn't push you out. I don't think Charmaine handled it the best way, but I don't think that you jumping on a plane going back to London was going to solve it either. Maybe you were homesick and you just needed a minute, but I think that should have been properly communicated. And then when you got back, y'all could have sat down, talked, and maybe worked it all out. But anyway, child, whatever. So we see Ashley and her friend Candace, and Ashley explains to Candace why she left Dawn. And basically she was like, I'm still getting people sending me videos about Dawn acting up and out at the club and doing things that, married men should not do. Now, from the video, it looks like they blurred out the video, but from the way it was described, some woman was dancing up on Dawn and grabbing his junk and tried to kiss him or whatever. Now, I think that is exasperated by the fact that Dawn has been caught cheating. And the last time the cheating came out, it was through Snapchat, just like this was a Snapchat video. I'm not defending Dawn, but I am going to say that as long as Ashley can't let go of the past, Dawn doesn't have a shot in hell. Because to hear Don tell the story, it was a fan that rolled up on him. He was like, you know how they are. They see us out in public. They do the most. They trying to, they try to push up on us. They try to get in our face. And, you caught a couple of seconds of a video that if you probably saw the rest of the video, you saw me pushing away from her or walking away from her, or that was just the end of it. But the fact is, you don't forgive me. You haven't moved on. You can't forgive me. And where do we stand now? And Danielle, I keep wanting to call that girl Danielle. Ashley was like, I want a divorce, and we need to figure out who gonna be living where. So that's where they stand, honey. I hate to see it. So, back down to the shop, child. Back down to the shop. They decide that Drea and what's his name? Hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Plug. I don't know why because I wanted to keep saying 4, and I know it's not 4. But Plug and Drea, Plug was like, look, because they were the only ones at the shop. It was just the two of them, and then Kitty was there. And, Plug was like, look, at the end of the day, she ain't going nowhere. So we really need to figure out a way to get along with her. He was like, I ain't saying we gotta like her. I ain't saying we gotta be friends, but let's find a way to get along with her. And so they go over there and they start talking, and they're actually having a decent conversation. Charmaine comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see that you guys are working, that y'all are, talking to each other and y'all are getting to know each other. And Drea was like, look, at the end of the day, I like money. And if your ideas are going to bring money into the shop, then okay, I'm here for it. And everybody was happy for the time being. Charmaine she said she's pulled some strings, and she's talked to some of her folks, and they have the shop has a featured article in the Chicago Tribune, and that will be coming out soon. Also, she is going to be on stage at the WGCI, the big concert that they have every year. Remember the year that 4 performed and everything. So this year they're having the concert. It's Meg Thee Stallion, it's the baby, and she's going to do her gender reveal on stage, and that her dad is coming in. Meek's mom is coming in. And so it'll be a great opportunity. She said, I'll be able to plug the shop. Then, we have this article coming in because we gotta drum up some business. We really gotta let people know we're here and get some clients going and get some clientele coming in. Ryan does a tattoo for Miss Kitty. She gets the elephants, the baby elephant, the mother elephant, for her mom. She gets it on her calf. And they still a little flirty. And, Kit's thing was, I'm not even going to sit here and play games. Me and Ryan are just friends, but would I be open to dating him? Absolutely, I would. Ryan's a good dude. He's a hard worker, and anybody, a blind man can see that Ryan is fine, So she was like, yeah, I would be open to dating. She said, my last serious relationship, it was horrible, and it really left me scarred, and I'm actually really still dealing with it. But at the end of the day, I'm cool with, trying to see if things could go somewhere. So that's kind of where that went. Now we get down to Prince and Fly. I guess Prince took the plea deal and he turned himself into jail. But here's the thing. He didn't fucking tell nobody. He didn't tell Charmaine. He didn't tell nobody at the shop. The only person that knows is Fly. The only person that knows that he turned himself into jail is Fly. And the last thing we saw was that he was going to be there for a minute. Like, not like, oh, I got to go do 30 days and I'll be back. Like, he going to be there for a minute. And Fly was like, you didn't tell Charmaine? Like, that's your job. Like, that's not even about, because he was like, well, I ain't want nobody to worry. It's not even about nobody worrying about you. That's just what a responsible person does. Like, that's your job. They're not... That's the difference between you having a job when you come out and, oh, well, I guess he ain't really value working here because he didn't even have the respect to tell us he was leaving. Like, I don't understand these people sometimes. Anyway, later on in the episode, Charmaine asking about him, and Fly finally tells them where he is, but he didn't even want to do it because I guess he was like, I don't even want to be in the middle of this shit. But at that point, people were looking for him. He's not returning texts. He ain't answering the group text. So he had to say where he was. That was just crazy to me. Anyway, I didn't understand that. So we're down to the United Airlines arena, you know, where the arena is full for the big concert. Charmaine is doing her gender reveal. Her dad is there. Her Meek's mom is there. She thinks she's having a boy, but she wants to have a girl because, of course, she would love to name her daughter after her mom. Ryan is there, honey, and it's so funny because Ryan is acting real funky towards Miss Kitty, and Miss Kitty is like, I don't know what's going on with Ryan today, because normally Ryan is, you know, we talk, she said, but he being real standoffish and real kind of cold towards me, and I'm not understanding kind of where that's coming from. Well, come to find out, because they were up in like one of the skyboxes and, you know, a private area or whatever. Not a private area, but you know how you could get a skybox or whatever. So they went in the skybox. Well, come to find out, Rachel was there. And I guess Ryan's thing was, look, I'm single and I'm not with neither one of them. However, ain't no need in starting nothing. Ain't no need. Don't start nothing. Won't be none. Ryan, look, Ryan, I ain't mad at you. And Miss Kitty's thing was, I don't know what's going on with Ryan. I don't know why he acting funny. But my days of trying to be a mind reader are long gone. If it's the issue, he'll tell me. I ain't about to ask. I ain't about to pull it out of him. And then the producers were like, well, you know, Rachel was there. Kitty was like, oh. Oh, she was? Kitty, you knew Rachel was there. You knew Rachel was there. But I could definitely understand Ryan not wanting it to be no issues. Because even though there's nothing really going on, well, I don't really know what's going on with Kitty and Ryan. But even with that being said, you know, you just don't want no issues. Don't start none, won't be none. So we down to the shop. We found out that it's a girl. I mean, we know that it's all over now. But she's having a girl. She's going to name her daughter after her mom. So I'm very happy for Charmaine. Congratulations again. So they're in the shop. Her and Miss Kitty are in the shop. And they found out about the article has dropped. Well, overall, it's a decent article, right? Overall, it's a decent article. However, some things come out in that article. And one of the things that comes out in the article is the person who wrote the article can't find where the shop has actually been registered with the Department of Health. And of course, without that happening, because they're dealing with bodily fluids and things of that nature, that could not only shut the shop down, but it could put their license in jeopardy of the people working there. So, while Charmaine and Kitty are kind of like stressing about it, and Kitty was like, well, is it true? Like, did you not register? And Charmaine was like, okay, technically, yes. I was working on that. I was doing the paperwork and getting everything straight. And then everything happened with my mom. And honestly, everything just stopped. See, that's the shit you needed to have Kit working on instead of, you know, buying signs and making, you know, making merch. That's what Kit needed to be doing instead of getting on Jess's nerves. Kit needed to be on the phone with the health department and filling out the paperwork and putting it, expediting whatever needed to be handled. And Charmaine, I understand that you thought somebody would just create a fluff piece or whatever, but people still have to do their job. Why would you not, like, you could have waited until everything was in order. And she said she really had just forgotten. So, honey, of course, everybody now is like, what? And while this is going on, who comes walking in the door? Van. Now, y'all, now that I do remember now I do remember a little bit more why Charmaine might have been pissed off at Dawn more so than Dawn firing her. Because when the whole thing went down with her mom's funeral and stuff, remember I was saying, you know, I understand that Charmaine was upset with everything that went down with them firing her, but I feel like, you know, they still should have went to the funeral. I remember now that whole rumor with her and Van. I remember now that they said that Dawn was the one, that Van told Dawn, and Dawn was the one that told production, and that's why it became a storyline. Van shows up, and Charmaine has no words for Van. And again, I had to remember all of this from last season. And what ended up happening was, I feel like Van apologized, but I still felt like it was sort of sideways. Because he was saying that Dawn brought it up, and he just didn't correct Dawn. But that still does not make sense. Here's the thing. And I'm going to tell you why this doesn't make sense. Y'all have been hanging out for years. Y'all have been drunk together for years. I'm sure y'all have fallen asleep in each other's rooms when y'all go on these trips. I'm sure that has happened a million times. Why that trip? Why that night would Don all of a sudden start asking crazy questions like why would Don come out of nowhere and just be like, yo, so did you sleep with Charmaine last night? Did you and Charmaine have sex? Did y'all have oral sex? Like, why would this come? It's like that came out of nowhere with no foundation. I don't see Don starting this conversation out of nowhere unless Van gave him a reason to think something had gone down. Now, I don't know that to be a fact. I'm just saying from where, and I like Van, but I'm just saying from where I sit, it doesn't make sense that out of all, y'all done been on 50,000 trips and y'all get drunk everywhere y'all go. Out of all of these times, now is the time that Don would think that you slept with her. And then for Van to say, well, yeah, you know, he said it, but I just didn't correct him. Are we in 8th grade? You knew at the time Charmaine had a whole man. A whole man. You had a girlfriend. I don't know what you and Jen were doing or not doing, but you had an on-again, off-again situation. Why wouldn't you correct Don? Like, that was just really crazy to me. So, neither here nor there. Van apologized. Charmaine was like, at this point, I ain't ready to accept his apology because I'm still in a real fucked up place behind that whole situation. And then Van said, well, I understand that you might not be ready to forgive me. I can only hope that sometime in the future you can forgive me. But I read, you know, that you having some problems with your permits and things like that. I can help you. I can help you navigate, get the paperwork done, turn it into the right people, get this situation expedited. Will you let me help you fix this? And Charmaine told him no. She was like, I appreciate the offer, but nah, I got it worked out. And Van in real life he has tattoo parlors. Like, he's a partner in like 2 tattoo parlors in Chicago or something like that. So I believe he does know who to call, what to do, and all of that. But Charmaine was like, thank you, but no thank you. I said, oh. And that's pretty much where the episode ended, honey. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.